a song from an album from 2020 that has the Beatles' producer listed as a credit. Paul McCartney was persuaded not to release the song as a B-side after reading a book about Elvis Presley. Eventually, Paul turned the song into a tune. The album that featured the medley went on to become a big smash. Paul was questioned about his song When Winter Comes from his album McCartney III during an interview with Loud and Quiet. I wrote a song called Calico Skies a while ago for the 1997 album Flaming Pie, which Beatles producer George Martin produced. There's nothing on that track, it's just me, he remarked. He said, and at the same time, I had this other song, so let me knock this one off because I was in the studio and had an extra minute or so. That song was When Winter Comes, and the reason I bring it up is because it was recorded on a session that George Martin produced, but I'm the only guitarist. Paul talked about the reason When Winter Comes was on one of his records. It was almost going to be an added bonus track for a Flaming Pie reissue, but I was reading Last Train to Memphis, a great book about Elvis, and it mentioned this song that you've probably never heard because it was buried as a bonus track on the B-side of an album, the speaker continued. I then reasoned, no, this one would be better as a proper track. Paul omitted to give the name of the Elvis song that was forgotten. It is undeniably true that many of the songs from the King of Rock and Roll are lost to time. It's encouraging to know that Paul was astute enough to avoid making one of the numerous errors made by Elvis over his career. Paul's songs Winterbird and When Winter Comes were combined and released as a single. Neither the Billboard Hot 100 nor the Bubbling Under Hot 100 included the song in their charts. The albums McCartney and McCartney II were followed, however belatedly, by McCartney III, which contains both of these songs. For 4 weeks, that record remained at number 2 on the Billboard 200 chart. The mashup of Winterbird and When Winter Comes did not chart in the UK, according to the official charts company. Since 4-5 Seconds by Paul released in 2015, none of his tracks have charted in the UK. Rihanna and Kanye West, two younger performers, collaborated on that song. For 1 week only, McCartney III peaked at No. 1 in the United Kingdom. It was on the chart for a total of 3 weeks. Paul included When Winter Comes on one of his successful albums. For that, we have the Elvis book to thank.